Welcome back. How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. Today we are going to talk about book 3 of the Dresden Files, Grave Peril. I'm slowly doing like a reread of the Dresden Files. It's like I want to be caught up to the 18th book, but it's coming out in January, so I'm like, yeah. But I also just want to post them up on YouTube as well, just because it's like, I don't want people in like 5 years to be like, Zach, you should really read the Dresden Files. So I already have them up there. This is the start of where everyone says the Dresden Files picks up. Everyone thinks this is where like Dresden Files is really, really good and it just becomes good. The first two are really bad and then it gets way better. Personally, it's a hot take, but I think I like book 2. I actually like book 1. I like all of them. There's a few that I'm not the biggest fans of, but I think book 1 is probably the weakest. But I also think that for most fantasy series, or just book series in general, I always think the first book's usually the weakest because it's where you're just learning everything, and then the sequel's usually like way better because it just spreads out, you learn way more, it's just more exciting. So I think Stormfront's probably the weakest. Maybe I'll do a ranking video once like book 18 is out. Maybe I'll do a giant ranking video once I'm caught up. That'd be kind of fun. We'll see. But Grave Peril introduces you to arguably my favorite character about the whole series, and that is Michael Carpenter. Michael is goated. Now, he is one of the cross. He's like very religious man. I think if I remember, he's Catholic, but he is one of the Knights of the Cross, where they have, each of them have a sword, and it's a nail in the sword from the crucifixion. Michael and Britt Dresden are just such a fun buddy cop duo because how righteous Michael is, and then you have Harry who's just not righteous, so it really makes it more fun. And I think Michael just does bring a dynamic into the story a lot more. It's one where you don't actually have Murphy in that much. Murphy is kind of sidelined through most of it, but Grave Peril, I think another reason why people like this one the most, and it's the same thing as I was saying, is usually sequels are always better than the first one because it really spreads the butter on the bread of just learning and seeing new dynamics, new characters, new world building, everything like that when it comes to fantasy novels. Now, regular series, I don't really know. I don't really read a lot of series that's outside of fantasy. If I do, it's, well, the Dollenganger, which is a lot different, but that's for a different video. That's how I think about it when people say like this is where it picks up, because you do have the other side character, which is Michael. You learn so much with Michael in this, and then you get to learn way more with the red core and the black core and the white core for vampires, and then you get to meet lots of other characters that when you are rereading the series, you kind of smirk a little bit because you kind of forgot, oh my gosh, this is where you meet so-and-so. But this one is where they are trying to figure out the nightmare. Who is causing all this? And it plays a little bit with, demonic things, ghosts, and with vampires. So it's a really fun, exciting story. And I'm doing audiobooks, so just listening to the audiobook is always just really good. I really do enjoy Grave Peril. Now, if I had to say it, I think Grave Peril is better than the first two, even though I like the sequel a lot, but it's not even close. Like, Grave Peril is way better than the other two, but I do enjoy it. I think it's because of Michael, because Michael is probably my favorite character in the whole series besides Thomas and Murphy. But you do meet Thomas in this too towards the end, and Thomas becomes such a cool character later on. So because like right now you kind of meet Thomas and you're not the biggest fan of him, but eventually you end up liking Thomas. I mean, I don't know if everyone does, but I end up liking Thomas. And then you have Harry and Susan's relationship where it grows, and the payoff's just really good because the story always opens up where Michael asks Harry if Harry has said, did you tell Susan you love her yet? And that's always really good to hear because it's just like you not really knowing too much of Harry yet, but you gotta really book 1 and 2 of as a character that when you hear him get asked that, you're like, oh, I wonder if he's ever even said that to anybody. It's one of those kind of dynamics. And I really do enjoy that a lot. And I think with this one, I think the pacing and just the story is just a lot better than the first two. And it's pretty clear. Like I said, it just keeps opening up the world more and more. You're learning about that Harry has like a godmother, and then you learn more about the Never Never. You learn so much about this world in this book compared to the first two that it's not even close, and I think that's just why people like the third book a lot. Now I'm a little biased because I love the second one because it has werewolves, and I'm a big fan of werewolves in general for supernatural creatures, so there's that, but I do like this book a lot. like I said, this is definitely the best one out of the 3 so far, and I'm really excited to keep exploring and rereading a lot of these books, just because they are so good and they are really fun to read. It's just like, wow, I forgot how good this book is. It's one of those like reactions for me. But with Grave Peril, I think it's really fun. It's exciting. If I had to give a rating, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. My first time reading it, I actually give it a 4 out of 5. So on this reread, it went up by half a star, which is already really good, because that's why rereading books are fun. Usually I'm more of the type, if I do a reread, it's usually through the audiobook, because I use Libby, and Libby's just free, so it's like, might as well use it. When I do decide to do this, I probably will reread a lot of books that I used to read, or I have read that I just never posted on YouTube. Like, I want to do a lot more Stephen King novels, and a lot of them I have read, and it's like, well, I don't want to like reread The Stand. I would rather just listen to it, because it's like 50 hours and it's just a chunker of a book. So I'd rather do that while I'm at work, and then at home I can actually read books I've never read. That's kind of what I've been doing with the audiobook kind of style. But yeah, in general though, Grave Peril, really good. Would I recommend the Dresden Files to everyone? Yeah, absolutely. It's a knockout series. I always tell people, if you're a big fan of like Charm or Angel or Buffy or even Supernatural, this is the perfect series for you. Like, this is what people would probably like if you are a fan of that kind of style. I grew up with Charm, I grew up with Buffy, I grew up with Angel. I remember every single morning before I would ride the bus, I would watch an episode of Buffy with my mom, or Charmed, whichever one was on in the morning, and then I would go to school, even though I didn't really know what was going on half the time, but I was still watching them. So when I read the Dresden Files, it really does remind me of that element, that core 2000s element. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. What did you guys think of Grave Peril? I know I didn't really talk too much about Grave Peril, because there's just so much in it that I don't want to spoil. I'm going to try really, really hard not to spoil too much. I'm just going to give you like my thoughts of why I enjoy about this book and why I didn't enjoy the book, if I do go to those parts. But in general though, I do like this book. I think it's a lot of fun. I would love to know what you guys think about Grave Peril. Did you guys like it, or did you guys not like it? If you guys are fans of Dresden File, which one's your favorite book so far? I would love to know. I read them all. I'm caught up, except for the novellas. I've not read the novellas, and I think I'm going to try and put the novellas in there on this reread. So we'll see. I don't even know. I have to like look up where they're at, like where their breaking points are. So we'll see what happens with that. But yes, I do like this. If there is any other urban fantasy series that I should check out that I did not put on my list, let me know down below. And last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.